Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to show you how I created this mixtape cover from scratch in Photoshop. The original I found online. This one's the original, Don't Crucify Me. It's a mixtape, a Lil Wayne mixtape cover I found. I wanted to recreate it in Photoshop to show you how easy it is to recreate mixtape covers by just knowing certain steps and how to create the graphics. So I again recreated it from scratch in Photoshop. It's not the exact duplicate, but it's pretty much close as possible, as near as possible as it can be with it. So I'm going to show you how I created this whole design here in Photoshop. The original bottom layer here is a wood plank I found online. I then used a mask over the plank and blocked out some of the edges here. I'm going to remove the mask to show you. You see the original mask is just a wood plank. So by adding the mask, I darken certain parts of the background just to make it more kind of subtle. Moving on to the letters. The letters were typed in Times New Roman. I then rasterized the text by going here, rasterize layer, or if you have a text, it's going to say rasterized text. And then I broke down each letter to match the lettering here. If you notice, each letter is shifted on top, down, larger on top. You know, each letter is kind of broken down. So as I rasterized it, I edited each layer. I used the lasso tool and highlighted each letter. Again, they were more spaced apart, so it was easier for me to cut them out. And I then just moved the letters closer or down, whichever way I was going, on each word on Don't Crucify Me part. I then used some effects just to add more of like a burning glow to the letters. I used bevel, inner glow, and a small drop shadow. I then added fire to the lettering here I found online. The original fire is this. I screened it and added some glows, highlighted glows to add more shine to it. I normally put it on the highlights anywhere there's a point touching, so that added a great effect to the letters to make it seem as if they're on fire. Same effect here, just minus the fire. I broke down the letters. There's a drop shadow just below it, a real faint drop shadow, not too harsh, just enough to see it. Here's the specs on that: a 50 opacity with 18 distance, a 9 spread, and a 6 size. Moving on to the center of it, I have the cross. Now this section here, I created the cross using the pen tool to kind of create this effect here. If you notice, the cross has points along the edges as if they're kind of distorted and kind of breaking off. So I use the pen tool kind of create my own points. And let me show you the original. So there's the actual cross itself using the points. I then also, if you notice close up, there's some slight blurring effect to it, such as here. Let me show you. Such as right here, as if it's moving. That can be accomplished using the smudge tool. Don't make your brush too large, but just enough to kind of cover a small distance of it, and just kind of click and drag, and it adds a little smush effect. I used it as if it was moving. The fire was kind of pushing the cross and breaking. So that's the original cross on white. It's inverted black here. I used the wood plank again as a texture. I clipped it. I brought in the original photo of Lil Wayne. I screened it with the blending mode screen. I clipped this also. More masking is done along the sides. The layer above that is him again, just without any I'm more desaturated it just to add less color to it. If you see up here the red hat, it's completely red when I turn it off, and it kind of lightens it up a bit. And then finally, another clipping layer above that is a fire I found with just kind of overlays on top. You can see already faint fire in the background. And finally, along the sides, along all the edges are fire and smoke. Smoke I found online, where you can easily find that. I can show you where to find that later. Same thing here, I screened it. Anything on black can be screened out. The background can be easily edited by using the screen. I then added highlighted glows along the edges here. Any points that have glows, I used more highlighted glows. And again, just went along the edges, erased and used the masking tool to create more of a feather effect on the fire as it's burning the cross. And that's pretty much how I recreated the Lil Wayne Don't Crucify Me mixtape cover. If you're interested in learning more on how to make your own mixtape covers, enter your email address below. What I'll do is I'll also send you this file here, the complete layered file. You only need Photoshop to open it, but it's the complete layers here. You can mess around with it and edit it and use any of these graphics yourself, so you can play around with it and get a better understanding on how to make mixtape covers. In addition to that, I'll also send you some additional tips on making mixtape covers, where to find the graphics, how to create the images, how to create more advanced techniques on making your own mixtape covers.